All right, very good. And as we mentioned, there's an incident. We want to go ahead and take a look at this right now. I believe Sky News 6 is up right now. Pilot Will Cavanaugh over the Broken Arrow Expressway. And Will, it looks like things are moving a little bit better right now. Is that the case?
Yeah, Rich. Again, you know, they removed the fire truck and the vehicles at this time. The backup was about 3 to 3.5 miles as far as Aspen and almost as far as we could see down the BA. But right now the backup's only about a mile, maybe a mile and a half, just past Garnett, and it is starting to move. But again, still 169 northbound as people are trying to get off and find an alternate route. It is still backed up a little bit on 169 as well.
You know, Will, this can't come at a worse time. I mean, as folks, that is the main thoroughfare into downtown Tulsa. That's the way so many people come every morning, thousands of motorists. And this accident happened. Can you give us some, do you know any specifics about how many cars were involved? I know as we were watching some of the emergency crews there on the scene, I mean, we're talking some of these cars were accordioned.
Yeah, we saw 3 cars, and of course there was quite a bit of damage to them. They all had to be removed with wreckers. There was none really being towed off. They were all flatbed wrecker being removed. We did have EMSA on the scene. I don't have any reports of any injuries at this time. And of course, there was quite a bit of cleanup. There's still a lot of debris on the road. So even after the cars were removed from the scene, Leanne, the rescue workers and the fire department still had quite a bit of time to put in to clean up the roads.
I believe that KRMG's John Philbeck is back with us as well. And John, are you getting any new details about how many cars involved, any injuries, etc.?
It looks like there were 3 cars that were actually involved with the crunch up. Another one over on the side of the road that kind of dodged the accident as it was happening. There were injuries involved with that. They had to call for a couple of wreckers to get those cars out of the way. You know, and this type of wreck, and Will was talking about this, it takes a little bit of time to clean up because it's not as simple. I mean, you know, a lot of folks are driving by that and looking at it and think, well, why can't they just use one of those police cars or fire trucks or something or other and muscle that car off to the side to open up the lanes? But you have fluids on the roadway they have to be cleaned up, and you have glass and other types of debris that literally have to be swept with brooms out of the way so we don't damage other cars that may be driving through there. So it's tough whenever a crash like this happens. It's such a busy interchange, but good news is those lanes are going to be open now.
And John, that's exactly a good point about the interchange, because not only did this affect the Broken Arrow, but as we're looking at pictures here, a lot of the exit ramps, the on-ramps on 169 also affected. I mean, we're looking right now, these are the side roads that folks are trying to find alternate routes, and those are now backed up.
Well, sure, folks coming out of Broken Arrow that want to stay off of the BA during this mess, they start choosing other roads like 61st, 71st, 81st. Well, those roads, those city streets, are not designed to handle that type of traffic flow. So whenever we have an accident like this that does such a backup on one of our major highways and major interchanges over in East Tulsa, it gridlocks a lot of Tulsa, a lot more than just that highway.
You know, John, and we'll try and bring Will back in at this point. You know, we were asking people to take alternate routes, but perhaps now, Will, would you suggest the time has come where we should say, hey, if you were planning on taking the Broken Arrow, not a bad idea to do that now, because it seems to be flowing better on the BA than it is on some of those alternative routes.
You know, it's funny you say that. I was just going to break in and talk to you about that. The Broken Arrow, the whole time we've been doing this interview, went from about 1.5 miles back up to, actually it's moving fairly well. Right around the scene itself, it might just have a little bit of a slowdown, but the Broken Arrow at this time has no backup. 169 is now starting to break free, and the northbound traffic, other than the ramp at 41st Street where people are still stuck trying to get off, and anyone that's listening to us that's on that ramp, if they want to bypass it and continue north, it's now moving pretty good in this area.
You know, it's just one of those things. I mean, it's middle of the week. It's a Wednesday. Everybody, it's, as we mentioned earlier at the top of the hour, gorgeous morning. Yeah. And it's just not the way you want to start your day. But it's good to see at least the Broken Arrow. Those 3 lanes have been open in the last last 20 minutes, I guess, actually. And then, as we saw there, 169 starting to break free as well. Hey, guys, we appreciate your time. Will Cavanaugh, piloting Sky News 6 and Steady Zoom 360, along with John Philbeck from KRMG. And the Sky News Report. Thank you very much.
Okay, what else do we have here?
Weather. Let's talk.